Hello.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to I think this is speech number 5, 4 or 5. My last speech was on Muay Thai. This speech is on a little bit different subject. Let me introduce myself. My name is Cody Lanier, and the subject that I would like to talk to you about is related to abortion. I know abortion is a hotly debated issue all across this nation. And it hits home for me. I think that with the amount of abortions that take place annually, varying situations, varying circumstances related to those incidents. But anyways, like I said, they hit home for me. I wanted to talk about that in my final speech, my final call to action speech. As far as introduction goes, abortion is an issue, as I stated, in which people have very strong opinions and oftentimes are very emotionally stimulated. The range of issues around abortion vary as well. Instances in rape and incest, mother's well-being, the question of whether or not life begins at conception or during the first breath. All of these branch off the issue and leave one question open. Is abortion morally unjustifiable, or is it in fact justifiable? Today, I want to dissect views on why abortion, in my opinion, is morally unjustifiable through the comprehension of life, beginning at the moment of conception, and by having an abortion, human rights will be removed from an unborn child prematurely. We first must establish, when does life begin? According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, life is the condition that distinguishes a vital and functional being from a dead body. The definition of life has been highly debatable through time and will always continue to be, no doubt. Through a detailed timeline found in a book titled Ethics, and this book was written by Barbara McKinnon, I will point out the progression of a pregnancy and how the egg and sperm create life, living and natural life. Day 1, the egg is penetrated by the sperm. This, as everyone knows, is fertilization. Week 2, the embryo is embedded in the uterine wall and organs begin to develop from this point through the 8th week. Week 6, the baby begins to have a heartbeat. And by week 8, the baby's heartbeat can be heard. Weeks 12 through 16, the mother can feel the baby's movement, and the baby has grown to approximately 5.5 inches long. Pretty much fit in the palm of your hand. Weeks 20 through 24, brain waves can be detected as the human cortex begins to form. Weeks 20 through 28, the baby can live and actually, I want to touch on this, thrive apart from its mother, depending on the size and the development of the lungs. Week 40 is birth. That's a brief breakdown in how the pregnancy process moves along. Through this short breakdown of pregnancy, it is safe to say that during no point in this timeline is time not progressing. And as time progresses, it is clear that the baby's life is moving forward. We have grown 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year older, each passing second. Life began on day 1. Our American constitutional rights, this is another thing I want to touch on. And I'll paraphrase something here. One section says, "Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property." This is quoted, as I said, from our American Constitution. Under the 14th Amendment that guarantees rights, privileges, and immunities of citizenship, due process, and equal protection. This level of equal protection should protect those even unborn. As we learned just moments ago, as my life progresses by the minute, by the hour, by the day, by the month, and by the year, through each passing second, it is important to remember the life, even of the unborn, is protected by that same amendment. There's obviously varying ethical stances on abortion. While we know that human life progresses from day 1 in conception and proceeds into a 9-month pregnancy, indicating growth and life development, we are torn between understanding whether or not this is an ethical procedure. Ethically, some people defend abortion ethically through stances defending the woman carrying the child, saying that by not having an abortion, this woman could lose her job. lose future opportunities, or that no one other than the woman herself has the right to their bodily integrity. While I defend the last point as well and truly believe every person has the right to their own body, I take a stand by it, that goes to the child she is carrying as well. As we stated in the timeline before, that while life progresses, we understand that that unborn child is protected by the American Constitution, and that is under the 14th Amendment. Through ethics, that life should be protected legally, and any life ended through the practice of abortion is thus illegal and can be tried potentially as murder. Our value of life. According to an article titled Life on Mars in the Smithsonian Magazine, and this was written by Carl Zimmer, 25% of scientists believe that Mars harbors life today. Mars. While people believe this, it is unnerving that people believe that an unborn child cannot be considered life, or a life with rights like you and I have. So how might this be that the same people that consider tiny little organisms on a planet light years away from Earth can consider those tiny organisms to be life? Yet something right in front of them, with a beating heart and breathing lungs, they consider not to be. Ponder that. What am I asking of you? I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I'm going over time a little bit. Today, after hearing this, I know you have questions.